we're doing more Great Ace Attorney 2 today. We're going to start Case 2 because I have a little bit of time before I have to do anything with my girlfriend later. Because I don't think I'm going to be calling her for like another 3 hours. So, yeah. Anyways, we have... well, you know, I'll just let the title card do its thing. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Are we in Britain?
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight, did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night. I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
I understood like none of that, to be honest. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law. Having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. Ryunosuke, do you have a pet pig now or something? What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. Must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholm's suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. I didn't know Ryunosuke had a pet pig. That's kind of awesome, honestly. Good for him. Yeah, so I guess in this game, we're not gonna have to worry about spending one of the cases just like on the cruise ship because we're already in London.
Ah, Bruno. Good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Good morning, Iris. Smells delicious as usual. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to remember how to do my lolly voice. No. Oh, not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't even finish my sentence, bro. I was getting distracted by my talking. This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes. I see. So that's it. Hey, not too close, man. We're not that intimate yet. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. I think that's the voice I did for him, right? Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button on your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
Hurley pulled your button off.
Oh yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then, that in my vexation I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Hurley, Bruno said that when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Ah! Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Not in any way related to Sherlock Holmes. You know, sometimes I catch myself accidentally saying Sherlock Holmes instead of Sherlock Holmes whenever I have to bring it up. It just fucks with me, bro. It's like, I don't know, that happens sometimes. I don't know if there's a name for it, but you know how, like, sometimes you'll, like, flip the first consonants of certain words? And then you get it mixed up, and then you'd be like, hey, I made a new word. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. And he's looking really dapper this morning.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. And I'm trying my hardest not to accidentally call her Iris Watson, because that's her Japanese name. A truly exceptional young girl, who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is published in Ronst magazine. And she's very adorable. She's so small. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Oh, well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. Oh, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh, yes. What fun.
Oh, I actually get to play the game. Alright, well, you know what time it is. I gotta present my armband. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Hush! Not another word. Ah, yes, I see. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck, and for winter use. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is in fact the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. Nice one. Alright, well, I guess we should converse. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by international post.
Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer in the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. Damn roasted. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared at the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped the man twice. You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. The time frame for this game is, like, not very long. It's like, yeah, the last game was, like, I don't know, like, a half a year ago. No big deal. Oh, the mustache twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache.
He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Yeah, so much of an impression that I forgot. Although, I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Startling news. I'm gonna have to take a lot of drink breaks during this, because reading dialogue for 2 hours straight is pretty exhausting, let's just say. Especially in a game with no voice acting. So yeah, let me just take a sip real quick. So what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten, then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Don't take place half a year ago? For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested the real reason she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said apparently to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes. Oh, this fucking song. I remember this goddamn song. It was the theme of that Irishman that I had to do a trial with.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Haley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. Pouty face. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 mouths ago? 4 mouths ago. That's a bizarre typo. Like, the U and N keys are, like, complete opposite to each other. Maybe that, I mean, unless that's intentional, I don't know. That she had to return to Japan. Oh shit, Miss Susato's repatriation. Repatriation? I don't know. You learn lots of new words when you play this game, I tell you what.
It's been 4 months now since we've waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed it was. Due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right. Telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever. The cause was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so she'd make the voyage back home? Why would he do that?
I have to admit I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. I don't need a recap on that, probably. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that, I wonder what Miss Susato's father's hiding.
Haley, do you know what it's all about?
Oh, he's ready to go already. Oh, well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar's quite surprisingly full today. I missed your theme song, man. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Harley. Don't worry. I'll see you later.
He just bows and dips. He sold off rather quickly there. I don't remember if I did a British accent for Naruhodo in the last game, but I'm kind of just like, let's just say that he's been in London long enough, he just kind of adopted the accent. Even though, like, he already had the accent, even in the first case, which is just kind of, it's weird. Alright. Anyways, I take a quick break here. Take another sip. I mean, I could just, like, talk normally to kind of, like, get my, energy back. It'd be nice if I could, like, inject juice into my veins so I can still talk while I'm, getting the drinks that I need. I think perhaps Professor Mikitoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Saseki-san was all involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. Of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! I found them at last.
Iris, are they...
The notes about the case, that's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runo?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of the case. But perhaps if I read them over, the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
And he has a funny little gun. Forgot about that, too. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in the court that followed. Reliving every detail, I just need to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world. 'Cause of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Why? Why not? I forgot. Why he can't do that. Give me a break, man. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years in my time, and it's been 6 months in their time. I think. Or actually, it was like, didn't they say it was 4 months? I think that's 6 months ago he arrived in London. Yeah. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Dead. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement on Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. Does that mean we're gonna meet her? The fog was thick and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Wasn't that case like 4 or something? That was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bots at once. So Susato and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. Rat! There's a rat there! 4K spitting rat on the ground. Saint Bartholom... How do I say that? Bartholomew's? I think that's how you say it. Hospital recovery ward. There you are at last! Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not.
Oh.
You're late! What on earth took you so long?
Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 25-minute ride to the hospital.
That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I've been waiting for what's felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy, and feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Yeah, look at her little plump. She's a little plump lady. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Wow, I was just kind of joking. I thought we wouldn't actually meet her this soon, damn.
Her name is... Ah, yes, here we are. Miss Green.
Wow, that's the most, like, English-sounding name ever. Hold on, I gotta examine first. If it'll let me. Wait. Yeah. Nothing particular of note. Really? Oh, wait. Look, there's a photograph in the frame here. Is that her son or something? Oh! Wait, wrong voice. I thought that was Mr. Sholmes.
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I'd say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? Oh. Maybe it's not her son.
My, Mr. Naruhodo, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. I mean, maybe it could still be her son. I don't fucking know. What is this fucking, you know, Majin Buu looking ass trophy over here? This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human form in different plate poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. What about this, I can't read the script up here. Alright, no funny ladder joke or anything. Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo? Oh, I think it's talking to the rat.
You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park.
For the pigeons, yes. That's a person. Poor woman. Hope she hasn't read this. Oh, we got a medicine cabinet, looks like. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you're half asleep.
That's a worry. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one.
Oh, I have no doubt you've managed to unlock that somehow while you're half asleep as well.
So is there any reason that Suzuto's here? I forget. I might have misremembered, but... Was she coming to London at the end of the first case? I forget. Like, she's kind of here. Like, we're not like, yo, what's up, Suzuto? You know, you're here now. It's just like, oh yeah, she's here. The game's kind of acting like she's been here this whole time. Unless this is like a flashback case or something, I don't fucking know. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Suzuto. Oh, the bag.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She'd been brought here directly out here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. The rat! Oh, look at the rat!
Ah, a mouse, Mr. Naruhodo. An enormous mouse.
Vermin in a hospital. That doesn't seem the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
Not as plump as the woman there. Got him. I'm not sure we can say that down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, the mouse is the best thing about this whole area, honestly. Good morning. Hello, I'm, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, from the Empire of Japan.
Oh no! What was your knife that? Are you the man who...
No, I'm a lawyer.
And I'm Suzuto Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you.
Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one?
No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you best wishes.
Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green.
Olive Green. Why do I feel like, that name sounds familiar? I don't know if they dropped her name in the last game.
I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to be bent over backwards to put herself down.
Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened to her from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident. Can I, oh fuck, really? I can't present to her? Damn it. I was really hoping I could. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you're walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that night, or that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right?
I don't know how I'm doing this voice, but it's fucking working, and I'm okay with it.
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time.
But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in the hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly, by none other than I, Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case.
Are you...
Wait, wrong voice. Damn it. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly.
Oh, I see.
Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should have never regained consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Oh no, we're also relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe his surname should be Blue, not Green. Oh, bloody hell. Now's not a good time for that. I mean, I feel like that joke makes more sense in Japan, because usually, like, blues and greens kind of get mixed up in Japan, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Her name probably isn't even Olive Green in Japan. You know what? I'm looking this up right fucking now. I need to know what her Japanese name is, because it's probably something completely fucking different. Because a lot of the characters have different names. Well, actually, I think, like, basically every fucking character. What is she called in Japanese? She is called, Viridian Green. That's actually a pretty similar name, honestly. Why Viridian, though? Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how many of the names are actually kind of similar between versions. Like, I feel like this is the only Ace Attorney game where that's, like, really the case. Like you know how, like, we have Iris Watson instead of Iris Wilson, for example? Or, I forget what Memo's name was. I can look that up real quick, because I know I looked it up. Okay, apparently it's not popping up. There we go. Yeah, Raiten Memo. That's obviously not his name in Japanese. It's Heita Memomomi, which is pretty similar, but just different enough. And obviously I wouldn't know what that means. So yeah. I'll try and keep up on the Japanese names, because that's something I never did in the first game, and I was kind of cool learning about the different names, even if they're not too different. But you know, yeah.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain's such a wonderful country.
Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh no, actually.
Oh, wait, wrong voice.
I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I'm messing up my voices even more than when I play Danganronpa. I see, how very interesting.
Oh no, is it?
Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre.
Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes?
Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in those by inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Mustache.
Inferior means? I suppose Sasaki-san does fit that bill.
It struck me as somewhat of out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all.
What's this? She suddenly clammed up.
Also, just for shits and giggles, can I look at the portraits real quick? Because, the hand-drawn, portraits are always really, odd compared to, the usual, 3D models. So we have Suzuto, a judicial assistant sent to Britain on a study tour. She's the epitome of a refined Japanese lady and a huge help to me always. And also, she's frickin' 16. She looks very mature for her age. Oh, and here's Iris Watson, an extraordinary young girl who lives with Mr. Sholmes. She has a degree in medicine and is the author of a popular series of short stories published in a prominent magazine. Yeah, meanwhile, she looks like she's 6, even though she's 10, so the ages are all kinda whack. There's not a person in the world who hasn't heard of a famous great detective whose deductions never fail to surprise. And Olive Green. Wow, she's only 20. She looked a lot older than that. An art school student whose ambition is to become an artist. She's just regained consciousness, having been comatose for days after suffering a stab wound to the back. Yeah, the ages make no fucking sense. You could just give me completely different ages and I believe it, honestly.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into young maidens' private affairs.
Oh dear me, do forgive me.
If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green.
Is, Mr. Narrowfodder here? Mr. Narrowfodder?
Narrowfodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo the lawyer, that's me, but...
Oh, Mr. Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. This guy butchering the Japanese is hilarious.
Mr. Natsume sent a message to me? But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on?
What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning?
Oh, what are you waiting for? Let me see that.
Oh.
Well, This is most unexpected.
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes?
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says? Have you not seen this note?
No, how could I have? Because he fucking took the note.
It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest.
I mean, you are dressed up in your detective outfit, so...
A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once.
Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence.
Call a cab. I don't know why that's a fucking funny line.
But the trouble is...
We've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did.
Wait, he's here in London again?
That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings.
Wait, what? I'll hail a fierce at once.
Or, what is that word? I don't know. Probably like a cab or something, I don't know.
It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence.
And now, the very next day- wait a fucking second. Wait, so does this take place after case 4? So it's in between case 4 and 5 of the second game? Or the first game? That's fucking weird. Huh. Okay, interesting. Oh, hold on, my girlfriend just texted me. I wonder if she's ready to call me already or something.
Now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought.
Is that why Suzuto is here? Because it's like it's kind of a flashback case. 21st February, 7:18 a.m. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Well, now I'm even more confused about the fucking timeline. Oh boy.
What on earth? Oh my, the gentleman's deceased. Without question, he's dead.
Welcome to Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire.
Mr. Natsume.
Oh, why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday! I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without wiggle.
I see you're in high full spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache.
Oh! Not this horrible Herlock Sholmes! Shoo! Shove off! Show yourself the door! I never invited you!
Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you?
Oh. Yo, it's Luigi! He's back! Forgot what fucking voice I gave him. Didn't I try to give him like a German, like not German, like a British Luigi voice?
Ah, here they are already, the busybodies.
Ah, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise.
Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at the crime scene, Sholmes.
The man with the incredibly massive chin. His jawline is insane.
Ha! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food.
Hey man, let the man enjoy his chips.
Good morning, Inspector.
This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything.
Or a good morning to you too, Sunshine. They're just standing there. It's so stupid. Alright, well, let's examine. Obviously, look at the body.
Oi! I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene.
Oh, no, I just want to look, that's all.
No chance. I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it.
Ugh, someone's in a bad mood. Yeah, dang, Luigi, lay off the chips. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Alright, let's talk to Luigi then. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who is he?
Mr. William Shamsby.
Oh my god. Really? A fucking Shakespeare reference? Maybe, is that, oh, I gotta look this up. Is that actually what his name is in Japanese? Let me see. Just for the, No, wait, hang on. No, his name in Japanese is William Pentancy? What? What does that mean? Huh, wow, okay.
As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead.
Mr. Shamspear?
It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadib, in the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at the usual hour, so Garadib got word and kicked the door down.
But doesn't Mr. Garadib have a bad leg?
Oh yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking.
Really? Soseki-san?
The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in his house. Miserable life, and a miserable end to it.
So what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? I love how he stopped eating his chips midway. He's like about to take a bite and he's like, oh wait, hang on, I gotta listen to this. He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene?
Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it'd be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter.
You nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Nope, you didn't hear nothing.
Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be on suspicion again.
Yeah, I can't talk. Certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Poor man. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been gone that long. The body's still warm.
Even if the inspector will allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to such a dead body. Yeah, leave that to Sholmes. Or whoever the fuck deals with it. Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Well, I mean, since I don't imagine there's gonna be any, like, Twitch messages today, I could probably just keep an eye on my Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, me and my girlfriend are gonna be probably calling, like, later, because, we reserved Monday, because she wasn't free on Saturday. So, yeah. Alright, what else can we have a look at? Oh, wait, hang on. We've examined everything here. Actually, I think it's checkmarked because it would be the same thing. It would just be Luigi being like, hey, don't touch that, you bitch. Essentially. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for incident on the pavement outside. And then having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room's just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? He gets all fucking shifty-eyed. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken up by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger.
What, did he ever invite me over to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it.
What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Although that wasn't that inspector over there. Oh, hey, what's up, Sholmes? Bro's trying to blend in.
Mrs. Sholmes, what are you doing?
Ah, you need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally.
There's nothing natural about that pose.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened.
My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I've managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life.
Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow?
No, don't mind me. Forget I was here.
Anyways, my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air last night that passed the victim's lips.
Oh, nonsense!
Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you acting so strangely and extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions?
No, please, pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, indestructible, insignificant.
Impossible to ignore.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts.
Oh shit, are we going to do the fucking, like, deduction dance or whatever it's called? We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time?
So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Cause of death. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact, yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing.
He ate soap. What is he fucking doing? What is this stupid dance he's doing?
Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soup is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate.
It's a very low polygonal bar of soap, honestly.
The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Poisoning from soap ingestion.
How many fucking games can you say a guy ate a bar of soap? Suicide or murder? The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, when we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall the death that occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tricks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. No possible perpetrator present. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' great deduction. I definitely missed those. That was good. There's just... Wait, what? Oh, wrong voice. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary.
In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past.
You've eaten it, you mean?
My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilled the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It is an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. But if you want to do it, go ahead. I'm not really stopping you.
Believe me, I wouldn't have eaten even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh, what's that?
It's Mr. Natsume.
Oh!
I couldn't help noticing shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touch a nerve somehow.
Nonsense!
Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nails on the side of the head and drive it into an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions. And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If he can do that. I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Nope, actually I'm not. I think I'm gonna have to reinstall my transition screen because it broke again. I don't know. I'll probably fix that later though. But anyways, one thing I won't forget for sure is how I think it was in the middle of me playing Great Ace Attorney 1. That's when I got one of my first, like, guideline strikes for... I forgot what the fucking reason was. I think that was... I think that was around the time the Persona 3 Reload finale got struck or something. And then I wasn't able to upload shit for, like, a week or two. And so, like, I ended up getting really behind on uploads because of that. And so, like, I think, like, it was just after, I think, the fourth case? It was either the third or fourth case of this game finished. And I was about to upload, and then suddenly I got a strike. It's like, not, we're gonna be stupid. We're not gonna let you upload now for a week. So, yeah, that was kind of smelly. And then I ended up having a shit ton of videos stockpiled for, like, weeks to come, basically. So, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again during this playthrough. Here's hoping. Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1, again. But this time, Naruhodo's with me. Alright, do I need to... I don't need to read this again, do I? Is there ever a part where I'm gonna have to, like, press it or anything? I'm pretty sure I'll have to press something at some point. The fork. Oh, the fork? The fork is bolded. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something about on his plate.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than attempt it with chopsticks.
And of course, only half a bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate the soap?
Well, I can only... Oh, wait. Other piece of soap.
Take that!
Other piece of soap, bro. Could it be that man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. That it being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. Well, duh, it was in the cup, bro. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Well, I think we're back on track again.
Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument, then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Well, duh, it's the fucking cup, bro.
Take that!
Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been vessels of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it appeared that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in this room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. I mean, that would make sense. I mean, that's literally a callback to, That's a callback to Case 3-3 from Trials and Tribulations, I think. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? Oh, I don't need to read this again. But it's so fun to read, though. The single teacup suggests the answer. Ah, the Western vessels for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspear was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Shelm suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again to form more clues.
Well, what can I even examine? There's another teacup. Oh, yeah, other teacup. He's not alone. That makes sense. I mean, it's the second, like, case of the game, so it's probably gonna be pretty easy. Did the man die and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. Huh. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night, making tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly unbelievable and justly unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know exactly who was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I'm not sure I like where this deduction's going now.
I'm afraid it's too late to go back on the Hillerson days of eating too much soap.
But the identity of the guest who was here in the room last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Maybe we can try to ignore your feelings, but we can't ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. It's gonna be fucking, Wait, let's see. What gives away the identity of last night's visitor? Well, probably just a broken lock, right? See, or what else could it be? The candle? Am I stupid? The empty bottle? Pile of books? Actually, I kind of don't know. What if I just do the broken lock again? Because we know who broke in. We know it was Natsume who broke in the door, right? You know what? Fuck it. I just want to see what happens.
Take that!
Oh, well, it was worth a try. Look at me, I'm a dumbass. The room was locked from the inside at the time, and clearly nobody could have entered a locked room. Therefore, I'm absolutely certain that nobody else was... That's not what I'm trying to fucking prove, bro. Mr. Naruhodo, with that answer, you haven't righted my reasoning in any way. You're a fucking dumbass. Oh, yes, that's true. As a logician, you'll never surpass me. The science of deduction analysis requires long and patient study. I'm several steps ahead of you, and your attempts to correct me only serve to highlight your deficiencies. Oh, this is what you get for agreeing with someone. I need to reconsider my answer, then. I love how they even point it out, though. It's like, hey, you did not change my point at all. I mean, it could be the bottle. Well, we're trying to prove who the frickin' visitor is. So, there's only so many things we can try. The books. Well, maybe it's the books? Let's try the books.
Take that!
Nope, it's not the books either. Dang it. Frick. I haven't saved yet. Maybe it's not too late. Oh, actually, wait, hang on. I didn't read that. That was actually different. Where's the, Oh, it's history. Actually, that was actually different. Let's see. You observe that there are a pile of books here, yet clearly no man could hope to read 3 whole books. And then what did he say? He said, in other words, there must have been someone else in this. I must warn you, Mr. Naruhodo, that a sprinkling of phrases such as yet kill alien, in other words, will not fool anyone. But I always hear you using turning phrases like that. They're more fool you. If you will attempt to emulate the ways of a great detective, you must first identify the greatness. Alright, well, we're down to 2 more options. We're down to the bottle or the candle. And then I can't make a save here, actually, so... I can't present either of these. So, it's either the bottle or the candle. Well, I feel like since the candle's like way off here, wouldn't it be the candle then? You know what? Fuck it. Let's try the candle. See what happens.
Take that!
Boom. Fuck. It's not the candle either. Damn it. Well, best I make a save before things get more shitty than they already are. Did I literally try everything but the correct one? Well, whoops. Yet this candle's still rather long. In other words, it's highly likely that somebody else was in here to light it long after the victim died. Quite the glowing answer, Mr. Naruhodo. However, you appear to have overlooked the possibility that a police officer lit the candle. I mean, at least there's funny dialogue for every single fuck-up, so that's something, I guess. You'll need to burn bright at that to make a great detective, my dear fellow. The whole point of this exercise is to fix your mistakes, isn't it? Alright, well, let's try the bottle then, because I think that's the only thing that's actually left. Bottle!
Take that!
Empty bottle. It's not the empty bottle? What the fuck is it then? We can conjecture this bottle may possibly have been brought here by a guest. And we can further conjecture that the guest's visit may possibly have occurred last night. That may possibly be rather too much conjecture, do you not think, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah. To make a great deduction, you must step beyond the realms of conjecture into the arena of facts. I would conjecture that you may possibly never make the leap, however. Alright, well... I don't fucking know. Let's load it up. Let's load my game, because I've made too many mistakes. So what else is there, then? I tried everything. I don't know what else could be there. Let's see. What else can I even examine? Wait. There's the candle. There's nothing else here. Broken lock. It's like, can I not move the camera over? Yeah, there's nothing else here to examine, I'm pretty sure. Can I not present the glasses or the book? Yeah, these are the only things I can actually examine. I'm just using my mouse now to make sure I'm not fucking missing anything. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is. I'm confused now. Is there really nothing else that I can present? There's an... Yeah, obviously we know there's the empty bottle. There's the broken lock. Wait, I'm confused. What the fuck else can I present here? Oh. Why can't I do this now? I looked at everything, though. Can I examine anything? I guess I have to look at this. I have to examine it first. I guess. Yeah. It's empty. Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it?
Makes you think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time.
Bother, Susato-san's quip in response was clever than my original riddle. Yeah, maybe I have to examine the stuff first. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I kind of forgot you can examine shit in these segments.
I wonder what they are. Let's see, the titles read... The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A for Gabriel.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
Oh, now we get the insight that, like, oh yeah, that's definitely from Mr. Natsume. What?
Yes, on the day of the unfortunate accident when Miss Green was stabbed. Saseki-san had just been to the bookshop and bought them, that's right. Now those 3 titles are in here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't know what to make of it.
So we have a pile of familiar books. So now I can probably present that.
Take that!
Yeah, now it works. Because now suddenly the game says, oh yeah, those are Mr. Natsume's books. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Why so? It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Ah! Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you'll be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. No, never. Non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased these books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. So many snaps. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. Boom. In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. That same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. Soseki Natsume at the scene. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm so good at deductions, guys. I fucked up like 5 times before I figured out what to do. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. but wait. Hold your horses. Yes?
Door. Key. Locked. Empty. Exit entirely. Impossible.
He's so flustered he's even being stranger than normal.
What, do you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. Huh. You live in the same building after all. You have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. but... Misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get a chance to give your side of the story later.
The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache.
you horrible hairlock Sholmes.
He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he?
Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student Mr. Arho Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please, please. I'm innocent.
Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it.
And one more thing.
Oh, yes?
My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me.
And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken, Sasaki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective.
My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you.
Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson's no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. And, of course... Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspear. Oh, Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him sitting in his room on the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go talk to him later then.
Alright, well, I think we can finally examine stuff, since Luigi's gone.
Oh, the poor man, so young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death being poisoned as he was?
I don't know. All we can hope now is that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder... Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Sorry?
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just an occasion such as this, really. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now, one moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there?
Oh, that's it, I guess. We have stuff over here.
Look at these extravagant bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady going on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt about being a king.
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to be a feudal lord, a daimyo or such like.
With a chonmag topknot, every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmag.
Oh, you'd look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmag and a sword? I don't know how you say that word, actually. And to be honest, I don't know what that is either.
There's not much on the shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much, are they? What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks?
Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and he should donate them to the needy.
You can suggest it next time we meet.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to fucking meet him again. The window!
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay.
What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the numbers of windows they had at property is extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax.
Oh,
What is it, Miss Suzuto?
if you look closely, a number of bricks are loose.
Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did, I wonder, being the lodger renting this room?
Oh, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What, outside? What, are you talking about the soap?
It's so cold outside, you can feel it through this gap.
It did snow all last night, it'd be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's used to, like, make the room smell nicer? I don't know, maybe it's like Febreze. I don't fucking know.
But the pair of them look rather charming at that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all.
Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here, this soap.
Ah,
Do you see, in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain.
kinda looks like blood.
It looks like the Hinamaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? And what's it doing in this ramshackle room? The bar of soap has been entered into the court record. A cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside Mr. Shamspear's window. It's one of two that were found there. I think I'll probably do this investigation and then call it a day. Because, yeah, I need to stop, like, relying on, like, the, what do you call it? I can't keep relying on the game to give me saves. Like, I just have to do the saves whenever I just feel like I've had enough. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. Looks like a meter of some kind.
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use with coins.
Oh, I see. Yes, now you pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean, if you put a coin in here...
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold?
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. I mean, that honestly sounds kind of convenient, you know? You just pay for the bills when you need it, you know? I wouldn't mind. It would save a lot of money on the bills each month that way. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? Must be connected to the gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights? A gas stove? London really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garrido had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. Alright, well, there's like a whole other side to examine here.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where's the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances?
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for your defense in your office.
What?
Then you can practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it, if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
This I have to see. Alright, there's a... I can go over here. Oh, there's not actually that much more to examine. I don't think there's much else. Oh, wait, hang on. The T.
Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guest drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must have been the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Saseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. Alright, we got the teacups now. Alright, is there anything else I can look at? I don't believe so. I think that's everything. A new location has been added. Okay. Well, I think in the next episode, then, we'll probably have a look at the rest of the scene, because these investigations can go on for like 3 hours sometimes, and I think it's probably a good place to stop, honestly. I mean, we had the highlight of the episode, which was definitely Mr. Shulm's deduction and reasoning, or whatever the fuck it was called. So, yeah. Anyways, hope y'all don't mind the shorter episodes. I might not stream these for as long, just because my stamina seems to run out pretty quickly when voicing for extraneous amounts of time. Is that the right word? Extraneous, I think, is the right word. I just put so much more effort into voice acting these days than I did like a couple of years ago. So it tires me out quicker. So quality over quantity, I'd say. Anyways, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode where we continue the investigation. Because I'm assuming it's gonna just be investigation, because that's how usually that's how the second one in the first game went, and if it's, you know, anyway similar, then we're gonna just have investigation, but you never know. Maybe they'll surprise me and break the mold. But alright. I will see you guys then.